Hi, I'm Roy Couvillon with Acadian Armament, and today we're going to demonstrate the Predator two-stage silencer. One of the biggest questions I'm asked, besides how can I get a silencer, is how much noise does it make, or what is the decibel reduction? And that's an extremely difficult concept to grasp because you have to imagine an unimaginably loud sound and use almost incomprehensible scale better suited to mathematics to try to determine is this quieter than that or how much quieter. So we're going to go a different way. When you buy a silencer, you want to know, did I buy a good silencer? So how do you know that? You want to compare it to a perfect silencer. Since we can't go out and find a perfect silencer, I've made a perfect silencer. Shooting first today is Justin Richard of Dave's Gun Shop in Lafayette. Justin, go ahead and describe the weapon you're going to be using today.
What we have here is a Colt M4A1 carbine, chambered in 5.56 NATO with a 16-inch barrel.
When you fire a rifle, you have noises from several different sources. You see the gun, please? You'll have noise, obviously, coming out of the barrel. The explosion of the propellants and the rush of the gas is coming out. You'll have discharge gas, and you'll have the mechanical action from the bolt carrier. In this demonstration, we're going to use an adjustable gas block, and we're going to turn off the gas ejection and the cycling action. But in any shot, you can work to suppress the blast, but what you're not going to suppress is the noise created by the flight of the bullet. When the bullet flies, in this case about 2.5 times the speed of sound, it's going to create a supersonic crack at every moment along its flight. You can compare that to the crack of a bullwhip. A bullwhip crack is at one instant. It's going to make that same kind of crack at every instant along its flight, but get there, like I said, 2.5 times the speed of sound, and then you hear that noise come back and collapse on you. We're going to demonstrate that, and we're going to get rid of the blast that comes out of the silencer, or any noise that might come out of the silencer, by putting on top of it a muffler. This is a silencer. By the ATS definition, it is a register or required to be registered. There's a chamber in here in which the silencer goes. There's an expansion chamber and an exhaust chamber, all insulated to keep the noise inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to fire a couple of reference shots from two perspectives, the shooter's perspective and the observer's perspective, to get a baseline for what would a perfect silencer sound like. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is going to get a reference or a baseline for what is the sound that you cannot suppress from the rifle. In this case, the bullet is going to leave the rifle, it's going to leave the silencer, and it's going to pass through this muffler, and the only thing that's going to escape is the bullet. The bullet is going to create a supersonic crack for the entire flight. That crack we want to listen to from two perspectives. The first perspective is the shooter's perspective. Ready? Hold the can. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but you heard the slap of the bullet against the mud over there, okay? That noise, that crack, is a supersonic crack. You heard it from here, and you heard it cascade back down on you, okay? Now what we're going to do, we're going to get a downrange perspective. We're going to stand 10 feet away from the line of flight and 5 feet in front of the muzzle. It's going to be the same two shots, the same distance, the same time of flight. I want you to stare straight across at that berm over there, straight across the line of flight. I want your left ear to be listening to what happens at the gun, and I want you to train your right ear to listen to the downrange flight, the crack. Now you've heard the noise that you cannot suppress. You cannot suppress the crack of the bullet in flight. We've turned off the gas block, there's no ejection noise. We've muffled the sound that is created at the silencer and out of the silencer. So now we're going to shoot with just the silencer on it. We're still going to have the gas block turned off. I want you to face straight down the line of flight and focus, listen for the noise coming out of the barrel, and listen for the downrange noise. Again. You go safe. Okay.
I heard the mud louder than I did the whoosh of the bullet.
So the impact
was louder.
The impact 100 yards away in the mud was louder.
Exactly.
Gary, can you hear
Way
anything?
You know, I got my head in. I ain't got my hearing aids in, but yeah, you know, I can tell the big difference.
All right, so that's how I define, is it a good silencer? We're now shooting a subsonic round. Before you were shooting this 55 grain bullet. The bullet that you're shooting now is a 75 grain bullet. It's going to go at just below the speed of sound, 1,010 feet per second. The speed of sound being about 1150 depending on the temperature, okay? So the gas block is still turned off, so you're not going to have any ejection noise. You're not going to have any supersonic crack. So I want you to listen for the noise that the silencer makes when you shoot.
I think I had his pellet gun.
Ready? There's a little supersonic crack there. Depending on the temperature, you'll get
Pretty
that.
quiet.
Okay.
Dead eye.
Dead eye. Well, the first question people ask me when they know that we sell silencers is they ask, how do I get a silencer? We make the process very simple. If you need a truss, you can get it at the store. So for instance, you want a silencer, you walk in, you talk to the salespeople, they'll help you evaluate what's the right kind of silencer for you. If you need a truss, a simple phone call and a notary comes over, you sign the paperwork, you can get the stamp application process either in the name of the individual or if in the case of a trust, in the trust. So in this case, you can walk in the store, make your purchase, get the stamp application process and sent off and never having to leave the store. For a complete list of retailers, check our website at acadianarmament.com.
Also, I want to thank Sheriff Mike Cass here in West Baton Rouge and his deputy came out here and helped us today, Mr. Donald Dawson. And I'm sure you got some people you want to thank, and I want to thank them also.
I want to thank Justin Richard from Dave's Gun Shop in Lafayette and Railside for helping us get Gary set up with this weapon. I want to thank Don and Gary for allowing me to be on the show. And again, I want to thank Sheriff Cass and his staff for allowing us to come out here.
They did a great job. But look, stay tuned for more. We'll probably be bringing you something in a couple squirrel humps with Carlton Savoy. And all I can tell you is,
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.